Oh yeah. Let's in. Cool. Source. Ooh, okay. Now I'm gonna update the title here again. What do I call this? Still gonna be values, I think. But we just look at shapes now. Oh, We'll mostly be doing character stuff. Yes. I'm trying to think if the canvas should be horizontal or portrait, but I guess it doesn't matter. What was this called? Stream value. 8. Okay. Shapes. Okay. Put our hand there. Hello, Kirio. Welcome. I'm gonna mostly be looking at shapes, and I think I'll just start off with just focusing mostly on characters first. So in a sense, we're kind of revisiting the earlier streams, I think, when we were looking at purely anatomy and characters and rendering. Actually, I don't know if you ever got to rendering. I think other than Ask and some clothing stuff, we never really looked at too much rendering yet. Or even if we did, I don't know. I didn't learn anything then. Because right now, if I'm asked myself to render stuff, I probably won't be able to render stuff. So this is why I think I'll just start here for now. Because at the very least, we should be able to do some character stuff a little bit more comfortably. Is this a square comp? Kind of a squarish comp. Square with a little bit of a top. Square with a little bit of a top. Yeah? Yes. Okay, so how long do I want to spend on each one? I guess it doesn't matter right now. It's too early to tell. I think for the previous one, I realized I was spending too much time on getting shapes correct when I just wanted the comp. But now that we want actual shapes, I might have to be a little bit more patient It's gonna take a while. But I'm not gonna use lines still, I think. No more lines for a bit. And yeah, so the only way I can work with this would be the outline first. Oh, hello, hello. What an honor to have Fuamoko in my stream. Oh my god. I am the biggest fan that has never ever watched the streams. I mean your streams. I mean what? Oh wait, I need to clip this. Yeah. Good stuff though. I saw that they had like a, was it like a life-size figure somewhere? Like a statue? I guess it's not really a figure if it's like life-size. It's like some event, and then everyone's taking you know, upskirt shots and of the underboob. I forgot who has what. Kind of forgot. So I'm not high enough here. I kind of enjoy like the previous times where we did other comp stuff, then I didn't have to worry about the shapes. I don't have to be so precise, now I have to be more precise. Which I don't think I will enjoy. Because of Japanese content? Oh, that's the thing. Wait, are they Japanese Hololive or are they English Hololive? I never quite figured out because I never watched them in the end, but like... Didn't they speak English or something? Weren't they on the English side? I guess they could speak Japanese and then they do some Japanese content. Yeah, Fuamoko. I truly love Japan. Ah, I see. Hololive Ian. I saw them do the Hamtaro song with the orca lady. Chloe? Kuroe? Don't know how English people call her name. I can speak fluent Japanese. Ah, I see. What do I want to get out of this? Because if I don't use lines, the shapes are going to be kind of out of proportion. Unless you spend a lot of time trying to get it right. Okay, I need to start thinking about the process. It's still too early. I need to think about what I want. What do I want? I just want to have some shape. So I just need to be aware of what's bright and what's dark. So really it's just a value study, just like what we did with the min stuff. That means I cannot spare any effort at all. I have to go all the way. Ah, okay, we have to go all the way. I wonder, right? Like if copyright music is not good, can we watch other people's streams? Can I just have other people's streams going on? We're not monetized anyways. I guess it'd be very distracting. How accurate do I want? I think considering the fact that I want the shapes, I think it has to be as accurate as possible. Otherwise, like, you know, if a triangle is slightly off, is no longer the same triangle, then I'm not getting what I want. I feel like that would be a problem. But we also don't have to be that precise, because at the end of the day, a lot of these shapes that we're trying to get is a little bit more organic. Like, they kind of just changes and moves. It's not like it's very strict, right? The clothing Even if the foes are slightly different, it's gonna be fine. So as long as I can capture the essence of it, I think that would be fine as well. But until I have a few like of these under my belt, I wouldn't be able to know what was a good balance. So I'm just gonna have to go for it for now. Also, I'm somewhat convinced that my pump is not the same ratio. 1.8? This is a square. It's not a square, right? Wait a second. That's that. It's damn well close to a square though. At 1 point. Okay, mine is too high then. Oh wait, that means actually the character itself is a square. Never mind, the character itself is not a square. But it's just barely bigger than a square, so if I just do this. This should be about right. Anyways, hopefully after doing this for a bit, I can feel a little bit more comfortable doing some character renders. And then in the background, I'll try to do some live 2D stuff. I've already started trying to do some research on clothing and stuff, but I don't know, man. Like, the more I look at all these VTuber designs, the more I feel like it's not very suited for me. I think people want to be someone else. People want to be cooler. They want to have powers and stuff like that. I don't really want that. So I think I'll probably just wear a t-shirt or something at the end of the day. It's gonna probably be badly visible too. Okay, let's ignore the silhouette for now. I want to use this as a staging point here. And then get the rest of this in. Wait a second, what? No, it's just a... Big. Yes, she's one of the Vocaloids. I think she's Yukari. I forgot her full name. Yukari. Alright, the legs are kind of jank. Jank, jank, jank. Maybe not that jank. Yuzuki Yukari. Yukari. Oh, interesting. Let me see if I can find anything. Oh, it's literally the alternative pronunciation for the kanji for purple, I think. Yomikata. Wait, no, maybe they just choose to stylize it for the Toho character? What is the kanji for Oh wait, it is. Oh, okay, so it is possible. Okay. Yukari, Bokaro, Yuzuki Yukari. Okay, so for hmm, Dokoda. So for the Vocaloid, we don't have. She doesn't have kanji for the name, but for the Toho character, it is. Oh, I'm getting ads. Toho character, we do have the kanji for purple right here. So Yakumo is the first part, and this is Yukari. And then according to this Urban Dictionary, basically of Japan, I don't know if that's true. So you can read it as Shi, you can read it as Murasaki, you can read it as Yukari. And then in this case here, which I think is, I forgot, this is probably sunflower. I forgot what it is. Hydrangea is pronounced as Ajisai. So, but yeah, the names, this one is kind of like, this is probably not a valid reading for a specific kanji. You would have to read the whole thing together. If you just say A or Aji or something like that, people would never get it. Yukari, I think, would just be specifically for names then, because I've also never heard of it before. There's no explanation for this too. So yeah, that's that. Cool, cool, cool. Learn kanji every day. Oh man, doesn't match up, so some proportions are wrong here. Do it in steps. What's up? Hello, hello. Mhm. I think I should probably do something original at some point soon. Because it's easy to lose track of what I'm doing this for if I don't do that. Recently is also... I've come to realize that I think what's happening is that a lot of the reason why I want to do art was because back then I was more by myself and more depressed. And then now that things are slightly different, it doesn't feel the same anymore. And what I want to draw is all the stuff back then. So it's become a little bit more difficult to be inspired, I guess. Can drop this now. Oh shit, wrong layer. Oops. Okay, the shoulders are kind of small. Vertically down is checked off there. Kinda alright. There we. こっちは足りないね。But I do think that a good place to start would be like old Vocaloid songs, because a lot of those songs remind me of my past. Remind me of the past, not my past. It's not that dramatic. But yeah, and then the songs all have like a cover page. They all have like a design for Miku and stuff like that. I can just self-insert my character. So we get different themes, we get different clothing, we get different lighting, different colors perhaps. Slightly different colors. And more importantly, everything is being grounded by music. So, right, grounded by music that I had a connection to. If not anymore, but I once had, at least. So that would be a good start. Oops. too small here. It's too squeezed over here, I think. It's not taking up enough space. What does that mean though? It means this is too high, I think. Oops. And then the other thing that I'm thinking of is that I should probably stick to always looking at the light colors or always looking at the shadow colors, because I feel like if I'm mixing up the colors that I'm painting each time, then I also might mix up the shapes. I think right now, after all these years, I realize I'm not really learning. I might have to be a little bit more methodical. And in my head, I think it makes sense that I should paint the areas of the light part, even though in this case, there's a lot more light areas and shadow layers, so it'd be faster to do the shadows, but because without light we won't be able to see anything. So the important areas for me would be starting with the main light and the area that it is lighting up. So I think I'm just gonna always focus on painting the light parts, and then every time we change a light layer, we'll have a light source, we have a new light layer essentially. That'll keep things a little bit more organized. Mentally, it'll be a lot clearer, because our workflow will always be the same. What? My colors. The edge and shape of the shadow tell the quality of the light source. Yes, I know what you're saying. So that's the interesting thing. I think at this point, I want to be even more. I want to deal with it in an even more like simpler way, because yes, like you said, like the edges, the value difference would suggest the harshness of the light, the intensity of the light source. And since we're doing values, we don't care about the color. And then what's the other property of the light source? The direction, right? And the direction. I think in our case, I'm only going to care specifically about the... I'm going to assume like it's always going to be hard edges for now, because I think the soft edges always give me a lot of grief. Especially, so I chose this artist specifically for a few reasons. The first thing is that they have a lot harder edges most of the time. Like the shapes I can see clearly. And whenever it's soft edges, like Min has a lot of those transition areas, I cannot tell what's happening, right? So I'm going to start off with just only hard edges. And then, yes, and then even for the values, it's something that's also interesting. So when we did the mean ones, the point was to replicate it exactly, because we were trying to train the intuition part. We're trying to test our intuition of whether we can see those minor value differences. But right now, since we only care about shapes, I only need to identify the shapes. So I'm actually also thinking that we can toss that out for now, right? So the four qualities of light, I can ignore the color. The direction will be important, but it's also not that central stage. And then the harshness of the light will always be treated as super harsh, so I can get very strong edges. And then the intensity, we basically have free reign because I only care about the shapes for now. Intensity, essentially, I can always replace the value. So, yeah, I think that's how I'll start. And the other reason I chose this artist is that they have a lot of art. So I think that would help us build that consistency. And then once I have the base sort of, oh, you know, if it's this artist, I know that they will do it this way. Then I can move on to like slightly more intense styles where there's a lot more shapes, there's a lot more complexity, and then I can be like, okay, I know what I can do, and I'm looking at this person doing something that I can't do, and then what is the difference? Then I think I can slowly build up that library in my head that way. I think it'll be a bit easier than just jumping in and tackling everything, because it's been very overwhelming so far. And yes, that's kind of the plan. Yeah, I don't know if this will necessarily work. It kind of makes sense in my head. Alright, I'm approaching this in terms of just what is it that I want to know, and then like how I think that I can find that answer and also remember it, because the bigger problem has been remembering most of the time, since I don't practice enough. And now that we're doing this daily, I can be a little bit more rigorous with this. Yes, we need to practice more, but also practice more consistently. I think that is mostly my problem, because I always change styles, because it's always the different artists that inspires me. So I'll collect a bunch of their references and then try to emulate that style. And every time it's a different style, it becomes a different process. And it's very hard to remember stuff that way. Consistency is it's very hard. I wish I had just had like one person's art that I really like, and then all I do is just like look at them and only them. I would have gone a lot further by now if that was the case, I think. And I'm still struggling to understand like what's the benefit of me like liking, because like I can use this to my advantage, I think. Because on the other hand, if I only like one style, that means that I probably don't really want to do anything else. I guess in that case that would mean that I can focus more on storytelling and stuff. But yeah, anyways. You know what, before this I think I should be a little bit more... I just want to highlight to myself like basically the tension points here. White background is one of the light source. That's interesting. I've never thought about it like that. I've only thought of white background as nothing. But if white background were a light source, it would be very strong rim light then, right? That no matter what, the character would have a very strong rim light. Wait, hang on. I think I need to draw arrows. What would the arrows represent? The direction in which like the fabric goes, I guess? Alright, so it'll be more like this area here. And then we have the... I guess the lines can be a different color. What do my arrows represent? Right, okay, so I'm trying to translate what I'm feeling in my head. What I'm feeling into something that's a bit more structured here. Because these guys here is like between two tension points. They kind of, what's that called? I forgot what that thing is called. Is that a dipole fold? Shit, I forgot. But these guys as well, they're kind of like between two tension points. Okay, what does this mean for me now? Oh, I can paint in the individual folds, but does that make sense at the moment? Wouldn't it be better if I block out the entire area that's in light first? And then slowly cut it out? Cut out the shape? If everything is in the light, it's like here. But this means I'm kind of drawing the shadows, am I not? I guess it's the same thing? I'm still thinking about the light. I have to think about the light. As long as I continue to think about the light areas. Okay, I'm gonna hijack this a little bit because I think it's better if I use my brain a little bit and try to make it make sense, like try to draw it first. I'm trying to think back to past experience and trying to see what I would have done if I didn't have a reference. I would have put some shadows here and there that will mostly match up with the bigger shape. I might put one here, but that depends. And then from here, we can try to break it down to something, into more details. So it's a bit more structured than just painting in colors. Okay, but now what? So if I start from here, Then we have these guides as well. Huh. How do I rationalize this? Okay, I don't know how to rationalize it, so I think this part. So I can bring it up to this point. And then how to go from here to the next step, I don't know. So I am just gonna copy the shapes. See if I discover anything new. I guess we're painting the shadow in the end. Two clicks, one up, one down. Non-connecting. Okay, and then I'm gonna abandon the fact I'm not gonna try and get it 100% then, the shapes. Because I think it's more important if I can just rationalize the well, this for fabric. Oh my god, my tablet fell. I'm gonna have to update the counter. But if I can rationalize the ideas here, I think that would be good enough. Because it's not like I necessarily love the shapes. And being able to break down the shapes ourselves, having that train of thought, the workflow, I think is more important. So I'll start from there first. Yes, +1 indeed. Hang on, where's my counter? What number are we at? 102? 101. Sorry, 106. 12 streams. Thereabouts, I think. Our average is basically at once every 10 streams. Where is it? Tablet. Ah, here. And finally, double digits. This is 106, right? Okay, it is. White and black are that color because they have no value. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, wait. I understand what's happening now. No, sorry. I'm thinking about my own workflow here. So yes, in the beginning, I don't care about the exact shapes. I just care about the... So we go from the bigger shadows, where I think there should be big shadows. Then we go into like, we talk about the flow, the tension points of the fabric. How the, you know, the trough and crest will be like along the surface of the fabric. I put in some sort of markers here and there to mark out this movement, I suppose. And then we can go in and refine the shapes. Right, so in the beginning right now, so for this layer here, I'm just here to kind of put in the directionality. Just want the directionality. Alright, I cannot... every time I look at clothing, it's just like there's so many folds. Like, I don't know where I was looking at. Where am I looking at just now? Where am I looking at? So this part here is in the shadow, yes. Alright. For the sake of this exercise, I'm gonna assume there's no shadow there. She's like completely flat. Yeah, that's one more line. We can maybe have one more here. Sorry, that would be here. I don't have enough space here. Okay, now what? So, adding more details. What am I adding here? Okay, no, I'm not adding more details yet. I just want to refine the shapes a bit first. Then I can talk about adding the additional triangles. That should be a bit easier to grasp. Now I want more precise shapes here. Okay. Now here's the other thing. Do I want to put shapes in that I don't like? I might as well just figure out what kind of shapes I like and just clean up as I go along the way. Uh-huh. Wait a second. Trying to understand. Okay, so the goal is to use values to find some shapes that I like. So that would be anything. It could be, so we're starting off with characters. That means stuff for clothing, stuff for skin, stuff for hair rendering, that kind of stuff. I'm just looking for, I'm just trying to break down some of the shapes. And right now I'm slowly trying to work out what the process is going to be like of like how I want to approach this problem. And also what the difference is compared to the ones we did before. So today I'm just trying to, I guess, mostly focus on the clothing for this one. Clothing and hair is the main one. And then right now I'm trying to work out the workflow, because if I could just copy it, but the thing is, when I'm copying, I don't use my brain and it doesn't make the connection. It doesn't retain anything. So I'm trying to come up with a workflow where, so first we block out the silhouette, right? We block out the shape. Then based on the lighting that I see in the thing, how would I put some bigger shadows? So we put some bigger shadows in. And then maybe we'll identify the tension points of the clothing. In this case, because we're doing clothing right now, tension points are important. So find the tension points. Think about how the clothing folds might, travel along this plane. And then from there, we can try and break it down into something that has a little bit more detail, but still just the major folds. I think this part is a bit noisy already, but that's part of the reference here. And then once we have that, maybe tweak the shapes to something that we like, something that we feel a little bit more balanced. So the individual folds of the the individual shapes of these folds, we'll try to make some parts thicker, some parts thinner. We'll try to keep that balance so we don't see any obvious like sequence of patterns or stuff like that. And then the next step would be to put in some more triangles and other shapes to increase the level of detail, right? To bring up the level of detail. And I think if I work in this way for a specific artist for a period of time for multiple pieces, I should be able to come out, at least have a workflow where I can emulate this sequence without too much referencing. Then I can go and move on to like more advanced artists. Because right now we're only dealing with one very specific element of it, which is just the shapes. We don't care about the edges. Everything is going to be hard edge. We don't care about the values. We can use any values we want as long as it helps us extract out the shapes. The colors doesn't apply. And the directionality of the light is inherently built in and isn't really too much of a problem. So yeah, basically all the complexity, I'm extracting all of the complexity out, and I only want to care about shapes right now. And that is the plan anyways. So I'm trying to see how far I can bring this along and how I feel about it and whether if it feels like it's working. And right now I'm deciding whether if I should stay truthful to this reference or should I introduce some elements of like my own preferences. Like if I see a shape that I don't like, is there any point in copying it? I could try and work out something better, right? Like if I can find something better, why not use that one instead? And over the course of the exercise, I can also build out my own sort of visual library, I suppose, if that's the right accurate word. Grouping the looks like ISP one big form first by. Oh, you mean like this part here? Yes. Okay. Yes, I do think it's a little bit it's a lot of things happening there. A lot of repeated shapes as well, so I'm trying to see if we can either just not have that or come out with some other shapes. I feel like that's, yeah, at least for this one. I guess it's still kind of hard to tell what level of detail I'm trying to go for. But at least for this one, I feel like there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of shapes in there. And I think above all else, the goal is also try to just keep myself moving, because once I sit down and start thinking, there's a tendency to just start thinking and just keep on thinking and not do anything. So I'm still also constantly trying to remind myself that keeping myself moving is still one of the most important thing. Like we're already 1 hour in, I'm still kind of stuck here, that's kind of bad. But considering it's the first one, I think it's fine. Still trying to work out the process. And now I just want some cleaner shapes. Like think about the size of all these folds, I think. I don't have a good idea still, but at least trying to get into that workflow, I guess. If I can just be a little bit more independent when it comes to rendering certain things, not having to rely so heavily on references. I think that would be good. Because I feel like I'm lacking that initial sort of baseline competency. Where without it, it's like I feel like it's kind of hard to do anything advanced, because if I have something that I am comfortable with, then it becomes easier to add stuff on top of that. I want something that doesn't just constantly trigger my brain and be like, oh, this looks kind of bad, this looks kind of bad. I feel like there's some equal spacing situation going on here. Might be better to group some of these. Oh shit, right, I forgot I'm painting the light here. Yeah, I don't just want to copy the shapes, I think. I've done that for 5 years now, and I don't think it's doing much for me. I can use a little bit more brain power. There's a little bit more brain power here. So I'm not trying to stay truthful to the reference here. I guess it's just here to guide me now. Which I think makes a lot more sense as a study. I'm finally using my goddamn brain. Oh, it's just like right smack in the middle. Maybe not there. Don't like this shape here. Yes, yes, yes. I'm starting to feel a little bit more about, like, people always say like you're trying to group shapes together, trying to have some big ones, middle ones, small ones, and then you have that ratio thing, right? I think now I can finally start to use a little bit of it. And be like, this looks kind of bad. I wonder if it's because other shapes are kind of equal in size, and then try to group some of it. Make one bigger, one smaller. Try it out. And then the rest of it would just have to be a lot of practice, I think. Exposing myself to different styles and seeing how different artists do it. And this inherently feels like it should be a viable way to practice and learn and improve. Yeah, even just like this, maybe it's fine already. There's no need to put in all the details in the middle. You can even make this simpler and just group this like that. Maybe. I don't know how this is isolated. Darkest value on her left eye. Key to group the foes. The ones along here. I feel like it's kind of fragmented. I'll probably move on from now, for now. I don't know. What do I want to do now, though? Because this would be viable by itself, too, right? It doesn't... I don't necessarily have to add more shapes. Right, the values do come into play if it's talking about the shapes. Right. Yeah, I don't really like some of these shapes, but I'm gonna put it in for now just to get a feel for them. I'm gonna just move on for now. Probably gonna take a few tries before I understand what's happening here. Right. Ooh. Okay. I don't necessarily like the shape so much. I think it looks a lot better because there's values, like more values over there. But now that as long as I'm just looking at bigger shapes, I think I've gotten what I came for. Got some ideas of a workflow. I got some ideas of what I like and what I don't like. I realized that this is a lot of detail and it's kind of uniform detail in the sense that it's kind of highly detailed everywhere. I think overall it's like a whole illustration. Maybe that makes sense because the skin parts, the background, and then the other jacket in the back is a lot less detailed. Yeah, actually now that I think about it, yeah, maybe that makes sense. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna skip off the clothing for now. We got some stuff out of it, and then I'll do some of the other parts, and then I'll move on to a lot of other illustrations over the week anyway, so I'll try to accumulate some stuff that way. Alright, so we go from the bigger shapes to the slightly smaller ones. Bigger groups to read. Oh, interesting. That makes sense. Hmm. Hello, Raz. Oh, whoops. Uh-huh. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one as is. I got some shapes that I think I like, relatively speaking. I don't know if I'll use it. I'm just gonna collect stuff along the way, I suppose. Yeah, I was twisting it without me knowing. Without realizing, and then it fell. I was in the middle of talking, so rip. Now that I have this, what do I work with? Trying to find a reference where I have shapes that I like, where there's shapes that I like. The reference today is pinned, by the way, in the chat, if anybody wants it. Oh, actually that reminds me of an artist now. To be here. Tokoda. I know. I'm actually just gonna grab I'm just gonna trace the shapes that I want first, the big parts first, so I can focus more on the actually getting the shapes out within each individual object. I think I'll probably end up focusing more on clothing, and then hair, and then skin in that order. I have a better idea of what I'm looking for now, I think. The plan is to go around, so find an artist who has a lot of consistent art, and then look through and see if there's any piece that catches my eye. Try to figure out why is that the case, and if the reason is because of certain shapes in there that I like, or I see potential to learn something, then I'm gonna go in and target and just grab the shapes. I'll grab the silhouette, I'll trace it, I'll try to pick up the shapes by eye, play around with it, and then make some notes as to whether if I like it or what do I like. And then I'll rinse and repeat. For one artist, then many artists, and so on and so forth. That would be the plan here. I don't know yet. But right now, based on the previous one that we just did, I feel like I'm looking for that balance of like big to medium to small. The other one had a lot of shapes. I mean, overall as an illustration, it was big, medium to small, like in that the clothing is the one that is the small, basically, with a lot of shapes. But because I was only looking at the clothing then, it felt like there was a lot. Yeah, I don't know what is good shape here. I still don't know. There are ones that look nicer to me. So in terms of this one here, I really like the fact that we have the shapes there, like these ones that follow the contour of the of this left leg here. Sorry, this is probably bigger. Yeah, this part here where it sort of comes down, opens up. At least in terms of clothing, it feels like good shape is a continuous, like a singular shape that's kind of long, and then it has a varying width where one part of it is thicker than some other part. So we have thick to thin to thick, or thin to thick, you know, something like that. And I think specifically this one has a very good feel to it because it's lighter at the top and heavier at the bottom, right? It kind of feels very stable. And then the other one I like was the was these loops here on the near the joints here. Because I've seen people who render out, like, you know, the fold here, they will have like one, it's like a fork, right? There'll be one prong that comes this way, one prong that comes this way, and then they sort of render a little bit of that flesh in the middle. I think that's fine as well. But in terms of this artist, in terms of everything in this illustration, I kind of like this one loop here. Especially when the line art doesn't exist. Like when this line art doesn't exist, this actually, I don't know, it feels like it tells a lot of... So it doesn't necessarily? I don't know. I think right now, yeah, it's just very vague. It's just I kind of like it, but I don't know why. And I still don't even know if I like it enough to actually go ahead and use it. I still do feel like the bigger problem is not understanding what the goal of my art is that well yet. Because if I know what the point is, then I should find a style that is suitable and then just go for that. Gesture more than shape. As in, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have that issue where I probably am using the terms slightly differently. Interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah. The more I think about this, the more it feels like I should probably spend more time working on original stuff. Because as long as I understand, so in the past I couldn't do it because whatever that I work on myself is gonna look bad because I don't have the skills I needed. I don't have the visual library, I don't have the shapes, the colors, the values and all that. But as long as we understand, you know, that, because back then I feel like I would never be able to get there, so trying it, failing, makes me feel like shit. But now we sort of understand, you know, like that we can work on it. Well, I still don't have a very clear idea of how necessarily in each individual part. At least we're more confident in that regard, that I think it should be fine now. So I should accept like a lower quality of finish, but just do original stuff until I find a good direction, I find a good vibe that I want to continuously work on. But then herein lies the problem, is that I'm no longer able to figure out what it is that I want to draw anymore, because I mentioned earlier in the stream that because my art, my motivation for art was born out of being alone was born out of being by myself and just imagining all of these different places, I think. And now that life is very different now, I have regular contact with people, just like a normal person should have. A lot of these things don't resonate as well as strongly anymore. So without that feeling to guide me, whatever that I draw doesn't have any meaning. So I don't know what to do right now. Unless I want to distance myself, which is also not that possible. Yeah, the virus. I think just watching, especially watching me, is probably not very helpful. If you watch someone who knows what they're doing, then you can at least trust the process. But like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to work out my process, which I think in the past 100 streams, if nothing else, we've established that my kind of thinking and workflow is quite different. So anyways, that's how I think about this. I do think Vocaloid's songs would be a good place to start if I were to try to do something original. Because at the very least, the music would carry me a little bit. It wouldn't have to be born entirely out of my own imagination. Which I think is impossible, actually. Oh, it's closer than to watching any... Right, yeah, like... That makes sense as well. That makes sense as well. And then if you have any questions of why I'm doing certain things, at least you can ask. I suppose. Yes. Alright, okay, that makes sense to me. I think that's fair. I'm just afraid that because there's a tendency for me when I'm consuming media to be very passive. So whenever I'm consuming, I'm not thinking. And there's a tendency to basically just watch things because I'm watching it. And I don't think about if it's gonna be helpful, if it's the best way to do something. As long as you've thought about it and you think this makes sense, I think that's great. I think that's fair. Right. Yes. To be fair, I never watched anyone else's stream before, so I don't know how effective it would be. And everyone's mileage will vary as well. But if there's one thing I realize is you kind of have to do it. There's some really obvious things that I don't even notice until I try. Like even just right now, like just now, I'm doing this piece, right? This illustration right here. And given the lighting that's hitting the light, given the lighting that's hitting the clothing here and the arm, why is this part so dark? You know what I mean? Like, why is this part so dark? It doesn't feel like it should be this dark. At least to me, I would have probably have some light hit a portion of this, if not a good majority of it. But because they dim this part a little bit more, I feel like the rest of the body pops out more. And regardless whether if that is their intention, I have established that there's a difference between what I'm seeing and what I thought I would do, and therefore I'm now able to understand, okay, maybe I can think about light in a less realistic manner and just be like, oh, okay, you know, this pops it out more, this sets out more contrast, I should do that even if it's not realistic. At least to me. It's a bunch of random stuff that kind of just a clean direction. That's good to hear. That's good as long as I can get there at the end. Overthinking is the one thing I know for a fact that I do a lot. I'm kind of weary, but picked out random forgettable shorts. Oh yeah, like it definitely feel like, I think in the beginning I definitely got screwed over by speed paints and time lapses a lot. Like, cause no one's there to tell you that that's not how it works. That's not how art works. Hell, I thought like artist is just an artist is able to just put down the right pixel at the right spot every time, 100%, right off the bat. You know. Because of speed paints. Okay, I think I spent too much time tracing too, actually. Probably didn't need to do it that much. Skin rendering is decently simple for this individual, so I'm just gonna probably skip it and focus more on the clothing stuff. Yes. Oh, it's good to hear that you guys are enjoying, but I imagine that's why you guys are here in the first place. I just feel very unstable. I feel a very imposter syndrome because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I'm being told that people are using my stuff to study. So kind of like, are you sure about that? You might want to reconsider. Are you sure about that? Yeah. I think, yeah, exactly. Like, speed paint makes you impatient, and it's really hard to appreciate how long art takes without having really done it and seen it before, like in the real-time setting. Like, 40 hours could have been compressed into 3 minutes. And that 3 minutes would have seemed decently long as a speed paint already. And you're like, oh, you know, maybe it's like 30 minutes. Something that's like 40 hours. Yes. Maybe that's why I don't really like watching art videos, come to think of it. Maybe that's why I kind of gave up in the very beginning. I'm just like, you know, it's kind of depressing to watch. I do distinctly remember that watching art videos sometimes just reminds me that I suck. So I don't really want to watch art videos, even if they're potentially helpful in teaching me things. Yeah, I guess I've always been kind of impatient. I always wanted to see results first. So my videos have always been like, you know, even if you just don't want to understand anything, hopefully by following the video you could get to the same spot. And this hat is kind of weird shape. Yeah. If anything, I'm also learning the fact that I'm putting too much emphasis on getting something that's too clean. Because I like this artist. I like everything that they do. They do good storytelling, they have good colors, they have good values. I like all the... I thought I liked all the shapes, but then now that I'm looking at it in depth, I'm like, it's kind of jank, like, in certain spots, like... But, like, doesn't really matter as long as it tells the story. My problem comes back to I don't know what the hell I'm trying to do here. I think I'm still focusing too much on the technicals when I should be thinking more about the storytelling and the objective of learning all this thing. More curious than fear. I think that's very healthy. I've always been kind of paralyzed by that. Right, okay. Lighting, huh? Hobby is funnier when being serious thing. I'm not sure how to interpret that. Let me see where I'll put the shadows and light. I would have covered this part out though. Would have blocked this part out. As far as the back parts, that's fine. I would have done the opposite actually. Huh. It's probably dark. It's probably bright. But the bigger shape would just be like this, no? Violin. I'm gonna split it. I might put some shadows here then. Okay? No, I wouldn't even put this here actually. This one here would not exist. This logical, yes. Yes, if that's width, this would be dark. This would be a different plane. Do it like this. Stay on that. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay, this one I'm just gonna follow what I'm seeing, I think. Previously I tried to use a bit of my brain, but I like the fact that it's overlapping here. I'm just gonna copy this. Somehow. How is it showing the overlap? So I would have to... What I call? So this is here. Oh, that's okay. location, I guess. More ships here. I need more ships here. Come on. In the sharp. Right, okay, we can do something like this, right? Do that one. That's kind of dubious. Okay. Yeah, I can slowly feel my thinking slowly change over the streams. In the beginning, it was very much about what is correct. But now it's just about like whether if I like the shapes or not now. Because some of these shapes overall looks good, like the whole illustration looks so good, but then when I'm drawing it, I'm kind of like, looks a little weird. But then maybe it's just because I'm looking at it directly. Yeah, but either way. Let's see here. Oh wait, wrong brush. Another one. Wait a second. Clothing. Oh. Okay. I'm looking for the color. Oh, okay, there's one example here. Ah, okay, I found it. Okay, okay, okay. Under skirts to separate value works, but oh yes, it's like the back of the hair is like lit, right? Or like a different color sometimes. But I guess both of those are physically possible, but so would the skirt thing. But anyways, I've always felt like I'm just like a walking ball of confusion, self-conflicting thoughts. Trying to be detailed, but I don't want to use 3D. I don't want it to be like that level. Trying to be realistic, but dislikes all the shapes and stuff sometimes. And it's like, where's my middle ground? On this side doesn't work. Nothing else is passing the check. Yes. Oh. I think it would be bad. Anyways. Oh my, it's already 12. They draw here in 3/4 wheel, they make the other side of face 50% equal of others. Oh, you mean like even though it's 3/4, it's still half it? Wait, what? As in, but how are you measuring that 50% though? Are you measuring... Are you looking at the chin? Are you looking at the nose? Or... Because like... This is kind of 3/4, right? Even though it's kind of facing down, but... The middle, based on the chin, would be here, I suppose. Is that the middle of the face? 50%? From neck? Oh, from neck. Oh, so you're saying like the entire head is... The neck is like in the middle? Actually, is it supposed to be in the middle? I have no idea. We did the whole anatomy thing. I think I remember this part. Uh-huh. 3/4. Right, but AI is kind of good at hands now, aren't they? Or is it because people are constantly drawing over it? Oh shit, what was the one I wanted? I kind of forgot. Oh, it's this one. I like the skirt here. I like that it's not just twisting, but it's also like very curvy here. It's got a lot of volume in there. Which reminds me of all these other artists, but I'm gonna refrain from looking at them for now. I'm just gonna do the jacket for this one. Oh, maybe the hair just at the top. The braids are not that nice for me. Oh, I see where it's... Okay, the eyes. The eyes. Okay, I think I do that as well. I think like my like alignment by eye is matching up, like it's making it 50-50 even though it's 3/4 and stuff. I think. But then now that I think about it, if I go any further, I don't think that would look right anywhere. It's very cool. Like this person's art has a lot of storytelling, a lot of scenes with this environment, right? And then the lighting and stuff, it's not overly saturated and stuff like that. I've got a lot of grays and desaturated colors. Oh yes, I need to write this down. I forgot. So I want to just trace object silhouette. Wait, silhouette. Oh my god, how do you spell silhouette? ID big main light shape silhouette. Man, no more copyright music for us. Very sad. Sad. I was thinking like, what if I put someone else's stream here? I can watch someone else's stream. Am I gonna get a copy strike for that? I guess I'll just have to stick to Genshin. Like the funny thing is that like one of the Genshin music has a copyright claim on it. Just one very specific piece. I forgot which one it was. If I go look at the past video, I can find it. So if there's like one area of music that we cannot listen to just because it would also have that. But this is not that bad. It's not like the last Friday where we actually got sniped. Uh, Cool beans. Okay. Easier, this is smaller. It's smaller. This value studies would be disingenuous again. Just gonna do. Like that. Hello, Mizukine. I laugh because it's almost time to end again. Thereabouts. Well, welcome, welcome. Where's the lighting here? General top down. Doesn't really have a very specific direction. Top down. No, I'm doing this wrong again. Let's do the big shape first. So top would be what? Over here? What is going on here? Oh, it's the front. Ah yes, trying to draw the shadow for the breasts with a square brush. Very cool. Very cool, very cool. Is the clothing in front or behind? Does it matter too much? Does not matter too much. SpongeBob Square Booba. What? So the initial part, so I'm trying to work through how I would do this, but is she leaning forwards? If that's the case, the shadow is gonna be a bit more than this. this is an interesting way to do it though. So I can trace it to save time, then I can think about how I would put in the shadows. Then I'll experience the same frustration where I don't know if it's right or wrong, or if it looks good or not. Then I'll look up and see what they did. And then I'll be like, hey, I don't really like that as well. But it still looks fine. Hey, I don't like that as well. Anyways, if we can find someone whose shapes I like more, that'd be nicer. It's at least a workflow for me to evaluate it in a little bit more of a... I wouldn't necessarily objective, but relevant situation. I can be like, yeah, if I did just use the shapes here, would I like it? Maybe not. But why not though? What do I want? So I think it's twofold. I don't like shapes, number one, either because the shape itself is of some kind of shape that I don't really like. But no, that doesn't make sense. That means actually it's the same reason as the other one, which is that it doesn't make any physical sense to me. It doesn't look that realistic. No, but that doesn't apply all the time either though. I don't know why I don't like it. In this case, it's because I don't understand what... I don't feel like that is right. But again, that's not the point. The point is to just deliver an idea. And it is doing its job just fine. Huh. I guess I just finished this off and call it a day. Oh wait. これはいいのでは? It's so hot on the streets. Because of you, right? Hey. Even? Maybe it's because it's too even. It still doesn't really make sense. I still don't understand. Like, what's the clothing supposed to do in this situation? I thought that might be the case. How much is 90 Fahrenheit on? I need 32. Yes, thank you very much. We don't have enough freedom up north to understand the freedom units. Is it because shaped like this? With flying alone, it couldn't tell the form underneath. You need to add value to see. Okay, I'm trying my best to understand. Oh my god, my tablet is walking today, man. It's almost dropping again. What? Why is it so bad today? Anyways, actually I'm just here for the skirt. I should probably have just focused on the skirt, honestly. Whereas so many things happening. Oh man. It's alright. Wait, okay. I think what is working is that I'm giving myself a place to practice. And I'm giving myself immediate feedback as to a potential solution to my problems, which is not knowing what kind of shapes I want to use. And then I can immediately evaluate if there's something that I would like to do, like to have done. If yes, then it's something I can add it to my repository. If no, we just ignore it and move on, because we didn't lose anything. So, given this, with enough time and enough exposure to different artists and styles, you know, we're gonna find something we like, right? Yeah, I definitely prefer... I'm very bad with the cold, but I definitely prefer to be in the cold than being in the heat. It's impossible to focus in the heat. But I can tank the heat much better than the cold. Would I have done that? No, it would be fine, but it doesn't really affect anything anymore. There's also a chance that at the end of the day, instead of finding shapes that I like, I probably just drop my standard and be like, yeah, you know, this will do. That could also happen. But as long as I get to a point where I can just draw and finish pieces, that would be good. That would be a success. I thought winter is chill and cozy, making it better. Yeah, winter. Winter kind of pain in the ass, honestly, but I think it's still better than sweating, probably. Uh, yeah, Vancouver is good though. Vancouver, very nice weather. Yeah, I'm somewhat convinced that this approach is not the best. I think this approach works, but this approach will only work if I have an end goal that is clear enough. Because right now, I think I'm over-evaluating shapes. This serves the purpose of describing the fabric of the form, and that is enough. So really the problem I have is that the style isn't necessarily what I have in mind, and therefore I don't feel like the shapes are therefore usable. Probably something along this line. Then again, it is pretty good though. What am I missing still? Yeah. So I don't actually know what shape study necessarily entails. My idea of shape study is just that, let's say I'm drawing something, I want to render it, I want to put down some blocks, colors, some shapes for the part where the light is hitting. And of course, it needs to follow the form, the actual object, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of different ways to stylize it. And I was hoping to find something that is, what's the word? Not favorable, but like nice, right? For lack of a better word. I think that was a better word there, but I don't know what the final objective is. So, okay. Shape into this space. Okay, yeah. Just, yeah, like I don't know. So, what I just described is what I'm hoping to get out of what I'm doing. And I'm using the word shape study in that with this meaning in mind. And I don't know if it's accurate to what everybody else thinks about shape study. That's the disconnect that I know that I'm gonna have. But right now, I feel like just doing it this way doesn't really doesn't really bring me to where I want to go, which I also don't know where I want to go. I think I need to rework this plan of like studying. I think instead of being more technical like this, where we're focusing on a very specific area, I should probably find art that inspires me, and then I want to draw something similar. So in that case, I will have a guiding principle. I will have a guiding reference, right? I will have to basically tell myself that I want to get something similar, a similar effect, and I will work towards that. And as I'm working towards that, I will learn more about values, colors, shapes, and all the stuff that's inside composition and lighting. And it will immediately be relevant because that is something that I want. Then from there, I take out stuff that I like. That will probably be more effective. The reason I did it this way now is because I thought it'd be easier to isolate out a singular aspect of art and target just that, which I think is still true. But I just don't have that reference of what the final product is. And therefore, even if I can extract something, I don't know if it's what I want. So if we have a goal at the end, then when I extract stuff, I know if it's good or bad, I guess. I don't know. I could also just keep doing this for a bit. Because overthinking is a known problem. And I do sound like I'm overthinking right now. Gentler shakes. Express a mood or atmosphere in a piece. Let me put it this way. I always have a problem doing that. And which is why I don't draw until I find a reference that has the exact mood and atmosphere that I want. In which case, I have a reference and I can go directly to it. Then I can express it. So it's kind of the other way around. The premise is that I could never do it by myself. So I definitely need a reference. And once I get a reference, then the presumption is that I can do it because I can just copy it. But that being said, do I have any examples of me doing that though? I guess the where is it? Do I have it here? The ones I did with the Arknights environment stuff would be the closest. Because those are full illustrations with backgrounds and stuff. Everything else I did is, I think, mostly character-based. Yes, and then the other extreme end of it is just that I don't have a specific thing that I'm going for. Like, for example, in these ones here. Sorry, this one here. Because I don't have a specific target. It's just an exploration. So as I'm going along, I'm rendering stuff, but I'm also playing around with the values. So you can see that it's going back and forth, and then now there's a lot of effects. And then this is a thing that I never finished. But in cases like these, it's just an exploration then, where there is no reference. I posted something very shapy at least. Okay. Very shapy, very shapy. Let me see. Light novel covers for Monogatari. Reddit. Let me. Wait, whoa. Where'd he go? Disappeared. Oh, I think I know what you're saying. Sorry, what was the point that you made before? That too roundy, curved, and soft. Oh, I see. So you're basically looking for styles that have harder edges, I suppose. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that reminded me of the like what we were talking about before with Mia too, right? With shapes. I do not know who the artist is. I will put the link in the chat. Raz, you might have to do some investigative work. Oh. Available. Interesting. Yes, the shape study that I have in mind is... So, yeah, if I had the skills, I think I would do shape studies directly on like some of the really impressive artists. Like even on like this, right? But the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to extract out the shapes properly. I also don't really necessarily like the shape. Okay. Anyways, yes, this feeling that I'm getting is telling me basically that I have not enough information here again. I probably don't have enough experience. I need to do more. So I think currently this artist is pretty good. I do like the stuff, but apparently some of the stuff is not very I don't like it as much. Like some of the shapes that's in the hair and stuff. Like there's brush strokes that just kind of come and go. Sorry, what am I saying? Like there's just brush strokes in the middle of like the light areas. I think I like Ask more. Yeah, like these strokes here in the hair. These roundish strokes here. I would rather like the area be a little bit more grouped. So we don't have like sort of even amount of detail going around everywhere. Actually, that's probably an important important note as well. Because if we cannot learn about stuff that we like, at least we can learn about stuff that we don't like. And that's also useful. Let me just write this down. I see. Otherwise the rest would just be normal forms of complicated silhouette. Oh. What do I want, man? Such a pain in the ass, dude. I don't know what the hell I want. What am I doing? What am I doing, Step Bro? What? Okay, so... Oops, what am I writing? Does this change anything? Well, I still have a lot of people to go through here, so... I'll still be doing the same thing, I think. Just jump around different artists and see, and grab out stuff that I like. What? Double S? Oh. Oh wait, this sort of texture. Didn't I add someone with this texture today, or did I forget to? Huh. Oh wait, actually this individual, I do like this stuff. Yeah, let me... I did one study before. But that one, I didn't have as clear of an idea of what I was looking for, I think. So if I can go back and extract the shapes, maybe is good. Hmm. Okay. Cannot spell. Waha. Oh, the word I was looking for is agreeable. Yes. Looking for shapes that are agreeable. Okay, I think I will look closer at this artist because I feel like at least like the hair rendering I like a bit more. I feel like the balance of some of the shapes is better. Although some of these forms are a little bit too squarish, I think. I will probably not be that squarish. But yes, I think this would be a good direction to work towards. We have quite a bit to go through as well, so that should be nice. And do some comparing and contrasting. Cool. Yes, but otherwise I think I'll end here for today. Hana Q. Hello, Silver. There's a few Hana Qs here. Yeah, today I don't think I did too much, but we got the process started, which I think is important. It's always the beginning that's gonna be a huge mess. I didn't even save this file. Okay, congrats. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you guys for coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or do more of the same thing. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.